Hey you guys, welcome back to Chaos and Crime with Tiff, and today we are going to be listening to a frantic 911 call that leaves so many unanswered questions. A man was missing for 8.5 years, and despite his remains being found, the mystery of what happened to Brandon Lawson still continues. Now, I would like to give a trigger warning because some of the details in this case viewers may find disturbing, so viewer discretion is advised. 26-year-old Brandon Lawson from San Angelo, Texas, was a father of four with a longtime girlfriend of approximately 10 years named Ladessa. Brandon worked in the oil field, and like many, he struggled with addiction. In 2008, he was actually convicted of possession of a controlled substance. And now, I'm only bringing that up because I believe it's relevant, not out of judgment, because I believe that little bit of information could have possibly contributed to that night. Brandon had actually been clean and sober for about 6 months prior to the night that he vanished, but it appears that he may have relapsed. On August the 8th, 2013, Brandon and Ladessa actually got into a big argument because she thought that he was possibly using again. Ladessa asked Brandon to leave, and he did, and decided to go to his parents' house in Fort Worth, which was about a 3-hour drive from Ladessa's. But unfortunately, on his way to his parents' house, he would run out of gas. At approximately 12 a.m., Brandon would call his brother Kyle for help. Kyle then went back to Ladessa's house, grabbed a gas jug, filled it up, and was on his way to go help Brandon. Brandon and Kyle would actually attempt to talk on the phone several times, but the calls kept dropping. Eventually, Brandon would get through to Kyle and inform Kyle that he was being chased by some Mexicans from the neighborhood that his vehicle had run out of gas in. At 12:50 a.m., Brandon Lawson would call 911, and this is the call, but boy, do I have questions.
2013, 050 and 38 seconds. 911 emergency.
Yes, I'm in the middle of the field. It's like we just pushed some guys over. Right here going towards gasoline on both sides. My truck ran out of gas. There's one car here. The guys taking pictures to the woods. Please hurry.
Okay, now run that right.
The one I talked to home. I show you in his home.
Ah, you ran into him. Okay.
That's the first guy.
You need an ambulance?
Yes, no, I need the cops.
Okay. Is anybody hurt? Hello? Hello? Hello?
This 911 call has been heavily debated online. I find it kind of hard to understand what he was saying. You could tell that he was in an area that had very poor reception, and I couldn't really make out anything that he was saying. Now, if you go over to YouTube, some people have added captions to this call. Whether they're accurate or not, I couldn't tell you. Some people argue that a weapon can be heard in the background, while others argue that it's just the sound of a passing car. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys, I have no idea. You guys let me know what you all think about the call in the comments. At 12:58 a.m., a truck driver calls 911 and reports Brandon's truck because it is parked dangerously in the way of traffic, and he is afraid that someone's going to hit it. At 1 a.m., Kyle calls Brandon. He was looking for him and unsure of where he was. Brandon informs him that he is injured and bleeding and needs his help, and that he needs to hurry up and get there. At 1:30 a.m., Kyle and Chief Deputy Brandon Neal show up, both unaware of the 12:50 a.m. 911 call that was made by Brandon. See, the deputy had showed up because of the truck driver's call, not because of the 911 call that Brandon had made. The deputy and Kyle are looking around at the scene, and they don't see Brandon anywhere, so Kyle decides to call Brandon one more time, and this would actually be the last answered call from Brandon. Brandon picks up and tells Kyle that he can see him, but the deputy and Kyle are looking everywhere and they don't see Brandon nowhere. See, Kyle thinks that Brandon actually probably could see him and that he also seen the officer, so he was just hiding out waiting for the officer to leave. Once the deputy left, Kyle began searching for Brandon again, all the way up until 7 a.m. and was never able to find him. Brandon Lawson would then be missing for the next 8.5 years while his family desperately searched for answers. And then on February the 4th, 2022, human skeletal remains were discovered approximately 1 mile from where Brandon's truck had ran out of gas. On Christmas Day 2024, LaDessa would inform everyone that the human remains that had been discovered had been positively identified as those of Brandon Lawson. As of today, no official cause of death has been revealed, but if you go to the Texas Public Safety website, you will see that Brandon Lawson's case is listed as an unsolved homicide. People go back and forth online about whether or not this was actually a murder, an accidental overdose, or if maybe he just got lost in the woods and passed away due to the elements. And I don't know what I believe. But I do know that someone somewhere knows something. And if you or someone you know has any information pertaining to the case of Brandon Lawson, do the right thing and give his family some closure.